Brad Sugars, the gent I was a little confused about earlier, is with us in studio, so I'm sure he'll be able to answer those questions. He's the founder of ActionCOACH. He's on tour in South Africa promoting a book called Buying Customers, which I perused, underwhelming to say the least. He joins us now in studio. You're a business coach, and according to the back of this book, Brad, recognized as one of the world's top business coaches by? Who
Entrepreneur Magazine.
Entrepreneur Magazine. Okay, because I googled and I couldn't find your name in the 30 list there. Just tell me about the bestsellers as well, because there's some interesting stuff on Amazon.com which you've no doubt seen. Headlines read, "The biggest scam ever, unethical business practice, not worth buying."
You know, look, it's interesting. You know, having coached literally thousands of businesses around the world, we operate in 53 countries, and the internet's a wonderful place to go if you want to make a statement, and you know, you can make a statement and it'll last there forever. Unfortunately, or fortunately, also the positives are on there, and I'm not sure if you researched many of those as well, but when you start looking at the positives of the businesses we help and the jobs that we create, and then you start looking at the fact that we have governments around the world that actually pay us to coach businesses because of the fact that they're looking to create jobs, and they realise that the small to medium-sized enterprise is one of the hardest ones to help. And to help a small to medium enterprise is something that either you know, if you get results with them, they like you. If you don't get results with them, unfortunately, it's a challenge that you have to face. But the majority of the clients we work with, and this is hence, you know, we guarantee what we do. So people will work with them for free if we don't make them more money than they start out paying us. So it's not such a complex art. But the thing is, you've got to get results with small businesses, and you've got to simplify it to a point where they can actually get real results.
So your business, if I understand, then it's a business coaching franchise.
Correct. We coach business owners, and we work with business owners, CEOs, C-level executives, to actually help them get results in their business, to actually help them make more money and employ more
executives,
people.
so I presume that's corporates?
Any corporates that we work with, yes. Mostly medium
what countries pay you to work with them?
We work with the Irish government, the English government also pay us to do contract work for all the small businesses.
Is that similar to what James Caan is doing in the UK?
Look, I think that what it is, I mean, it's similar but different. You know, coaching is something where you actually have to work long term with people. It's something where you actually have to work with them and not just help them, but change some of the philosophies, change some of the ways they're doing business, change some of the basics in their business, even from the accounting aspects of their business, change some of the marketing, change some of the sales processes that they're, in some cases, not even using or not using.
Where does your information come from? Where does your expertise come from to help businesses?
Oh, look, from running my own companies mostly. I trained as an accountant, but most of the work we do is more sales, marketing and management oriented, because most businesses, they can hire an accountant or they can hire a bookkeeper, but the challenge for most business owners is actually bringing in new revenues for their business.
Sure. And in the 15 years that you've been running this, according to your
21
website,
years actually.
You've taught 500,000 people. Is that accurate?
Actually, a lot more than that these days. You know, look.
That's well, 500,000 people, according to your website. That's 33,000 people a year. It's 150 a day. It's quite a lot of people to get through.
Well, tonight we have 1,000 people that are registered
so if
to
you
come
get
to
1,000 people coming to your presentation,
training
that's
events,
1,000 people.
Yeah, look, I mean, when you sit down and you look at business owners, most of them, Alec, don't have the time to go to 5-year courses or 1-year courses. Most of them have the time that they need to get some information, and they need to get it now. Small business owners don't have the luxury of being able to go and take, you know, days and weeks to be able to learn things. They have to go and learn it now, and they have to learn it in a way that they can apply today.
So your business coaches small business owners who then pay you to come and help them to do what?
So to build their sales, to build their revenues, to build their business. I mean, they have to grow the sales and revenues of their company.
What do they pay for that?
Well, it depends on the program. They can start here in South Africa at 1,000 Rand a month. I mean, they can come to a group program where they come and work with other business owners and other coaches to get those results. They can go right up to, you know, 5,000 where they're starting to get more one-on-one advice. It depends on the business, depends on the size, and depends on how much help they need.
You got 1,000 people coming to you?
Yes.
And what are they paying to come?
I'm doing that seminar for free.
Why?
So I don't, well, Very simply put, because our business is a very strong business, and part of what we do is help businesses grow. Now, some of them may become clients in the next year or two, and some of them may not, but we're helping people grow their business.
So you're going to tell them what's in this book?
I'm going to teach them some of what's in that book, absolutely. Some of it will be other things that we'll teach them.
Because really, I found it, as I said before, underwhelming in the extreme.
But Alec, you're sitting there looking at it from a very financial perspective. If you're a small business owner who's just started their own business, and let's say they're a locksmith or a carpenter, how much business knowledge do they come to the program with versus what they need to learn from the very basic fundamentals? You're evaluating a book based on high-level financial aspects.
I started a company on my own, listed it on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange in 1999. It's still publicly listed company.
So when you look at
I know what it's like coming from the beginning to take it here. I'm not looking at it from a financial point of view. I'm trying to think from an entrepreneur, which I am, and I do run my own business. An entrepreneur, what would he get out of this book? And that's why I'm asking you, what does he get from it?
If you're an entrepreneur and you look at the marketing focus of the business, how do you evaluate the amount of money you spend on marketing in a business, and how can you work out how much you should spend on marketing in a business?
What you're going to teach them in here?
That's part of what we teach with this. How do you evaluate knowing and looking at the 5 ways formula that we teach of leads by conversion equals customers, take that by number of transactions, average dollar sale, and then that gets to your revenues and margins to repeat business. Most business owners don't know those numbers, and they don't even know the formula to work out how to get to those numbers. So to multiply the bottom line profitability of their business, they don't know that information. So with all due respect, these are people I work with every single day of my life. These small business owners we work with across the world, and they don't know that information, and they need to be able to learn how to get that information. To simplify it to a point where a small business owner can actually understand it and use it is what we try to do. Could we write it in a highfalutin, complex methodology? Absolutely, we could write the books in that way. But why would you write it in a way that the average small business owner wouldn't understand and therefore wouldn't implement? It's about implementation, it's about use, it's about actually doing what needs to be done. And that's the way we write it. It's not written to impress people, it's written to get things done. And that's a very important aspect of what we're looking at. How do we get... See, when you look at a small business owner and getting them to change what they do, because on a day-to-day basis, what are they doing day-to-day? The average hairdresser is cutting hair all day. To get that person to move to a marketing focus in their business takes a lot of work and takes a lot of... they've got to gain a lot more to do it.
You've got 1,000 people coming to your conference. I'm sure that you're going to tell them that story as well. That was Brad Sugars, the founder of ActionCOACH.